In this video, Mickey sees a squirrel. We find a large pile of rocks, and we see some rock markings that were clearly made by aliens. Today, we're back at the Lake Laurentian Conservation Area in Sudbury, Ontario, and we seek out a 360-degree hilltop with interesting features sculpted right into the bedrock.
Well, pal, I'll go for a hike on the Laurentian Conservation Trails. Let's go. So Mickey and I are on the Lake Laurentian Conservation Area, and we entered off of Ida Street, which is a residential street. Kind of a nice area to enter from. It's not too busy here, and the sun's out for now. I don't think it's going to stay out for long, but we'll see.
The conservation area surrounds Lake Laurentian, a man-made lake. The lands were assembled during the 1960s to help protect Sudbury's main water supply, Lake Ramsey.
So we entered here, and we're making our way this way. So this is Lake Laurentian. You can kind of see it in the distance past the marsh. And it's on my list to paddle this summer, I hope. Nice quiet lake. No cottages or camps as we call them up here. Might be a nice place to go.
We were here on February 6, 2024, and there's a surprising lack of snow for this time of year.
It's a good example of how he doesn't get too excited about squirrels and chipmunks. Taking the route less traveled now. I don't think I've been on this trail before, so I'm not really sure where it goes. I've got the trail guide in my backpack, but I'm too lazy to get it out and have a look at it. And I kind of like just exploring and stumbling on things that I'm not expecting, like rocks and roots. In this trail we're finding lots of white pine, spruce, oak, and birch. None of them are very mature because this area has been heavily impacted by mining activities of the 20th century, and it's rebounding nicely, but it takes time. Alright, so we had to backtrack on our first trail that took us to the cell tower, and now we've turned onto a new trail. It just had a fairly sizable hill on it. That's why I'm huffing and puffing.
We made our way up the barren rocks toward the lookout. Sudbury sits on rock that is very rich in nickel and other minerals. When ore is extracted from the ground, the valuable minerals must be separated from the regular rock. This is done by melting the rock with intense heat, a process called smelting. Originally, forests of trees were cut down just to be set on fire in order to melt the rock. These were called roasting beds. Furnaces eventually replaced the roasting beds, but the gases released by them were still very damaging to the landscape. As new technologies emerged, the smelting process became less harmful, allowing forests to recover. But a great debt is owed to the many volunteers and the handful of scientists who found a way to kickstart the healing of the landscape. Back to today, we noticed some interesting raised lines in the bedrock. My geologist friend suggested that veins in the rock were once filled in by a more resistant mineral, perhaps quartz. At some point in the rock's history, it was fractured and hydrothermal fluid circulated through these fractures. Minerals were precipitated from this fluid that eventually healed the fractures, forming these veins. The softer host rock has been eroded more quickly than the material in the veins, leaving these ridges. So maybe it wasn't aliens after all. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.